Okay, ma. So let's see this news, ma. So there is a wildfire in the New York City that orange skies raise environmental questions. So we saw this news already in that border of Canada and United States of America. We have that tree that is called as pine. So naturally there will be a forest fire over there in that places of USA and Canada border. Now it got to be rising environmental question in New York City also. So that's why this is in the news. You see this sky, orange sky, are due to the flames that have been raging north of the US-Canada border. I told you already, because of that pine forest, that this kind of natural fire might have happened over there. So that fire activity has changed with more destructive flames erupting more frequently in fire prone regions. Like this is not only in Canada and US border, ma. It is also, we have that fire activities which are over there in that Siberia, California, and also that's in Australia. But if you see this kind of things, there is the grasslands that in North America and the Brazil. That grassland which is called as prairies, that's in USA. That prairies grassland, which is because of a particular type of climate that is called a steppe type of climate, which is over there in that America. And you just see that news that Greece is the first country in the world that they are establishing a ministry. That ministry is called as Climate Crisis Ministry, that to address the planet changing climate present, whatever the climate which are changing in that planet, that issues and all, they are addressed by this climate crisis ministry. This is just like the Ministry of Environment, but our environment ministry in India, they have concern about our Indian natural changes and all. But these kind of climate crisis ministry that in the Greece, they have addressed the planet changing climatic processes. So this is the news that we have it, ma. And you see this, there is an another event which happened from 2019 to 2020, that is called as Black Summer, which is in the Australian bushfire. Due to this fire, what happened, 46 million acres of land that can be burnt out because of that bushfire. We know that this because of this, there is a billion mammals and birds, reptiles, which across the eastern Australia are estimated to be affected by the fire catastrophe. You see, ma, the Western Australia, which is completely a desert. So we studied about lot of things that is called as Great Sandy Desert, Gibson Desert, Jimson Desert. These kind of deserts which is over there in the Western Australia. But if you see in that Eastern Australia, though there we have these kind of bushes, so that's why in that places during the summer time that we have these kind of forest fire over there. So this is not the forest fire which is not confined only to the bordering countries of US and Canada. It's supposed to be in a lot of Siberia, Australia, and all these places, and they will have different kind of names. We should know that where is this Black Summer. That Australian bushfire is called as the Black Summer. And if we see this, so the wildfire releases more carbon dioxide into the sky. That's why the news says this orange sky, which over there in that US-Canada border, that is because of the carbon dioxide which got to be released when these kind of forest fire might have happened. And there is the news that this kind of wildfires and the forest fires, that they might have expected to double by 21st of this coming up of all these kind of years. So this is the very news that we have in that newspaper. The next one, you see this, El Nino is here. We studied about what is called as El Nino in the conventional area, that this is the ocean current, local ocean current, that it replaces a cold current. Actually, this El Nino is a warm current, right? So it could cause more damages depending on its strength this winter. What happened? What happened to this? You see, look at here. The El Nino could cause more warming. Yes, obviously, I told this is the warm current. This is not the cold current. This El Nino warm current, which is a local current, that it replaces the Peruvian current. Peruvian current is a cold current, right? The hottest year which is recorded was 2016. Though in the 2016 we will have a strong El Nino. That's why that year which is the hottest year. But this year we are expecting that we have the warmest, and it breaks this record. And El Nino, the warm phase of the recurring climate pattern associated with the warming of the ocean surface temperature in the central and eastern tropical Pacific Ocean. We studied it, where these kind of El Nino, that is the warm ocean current, which might have happened. And look at here, this El Nino occurs every 7 years. So 7 years once we will have 2 El Ninos. And this one, the climate pattern is known to cause severe drought over Australia, Indonesia and part of southern Asia. Look at here. When El Nino happens, there is a drought might have happened in some places of the world. In the same way, if El Nino happens, there in some part of that world, we will have a very good rainfall. Look at here. There is a drought in Australia, Indonesia and part of South Asia. So what is happening in the world? That's in that Australia and also in that Indonesia and Southern Asia. Southern Asia means that include India, though we will have a drought. But it brings rain in South America, Southern South America, Southern United States, the Horn of Africa and Central Asia. So here we have rainfall, and here we have the drought because of this El Nino which getting be strong. And this El Nino conditions are present and are expected to gradually strengthen into the northern hemisphere winter of 2023 to 2024. That's why we are expecting that we will have that much of warm, that it will I told you that there is a hottest year in 2016. It might have broke up of all these things. So what they have predicted, 84% chances is there for greater than a moderate strength of El Nino. So the moderate, there is a greater than the moderate strength of El Nino, and 56% chances is there for that strong El Nino by the winter month. So that might have, we are expecting these kind of things. And El Nino could lead to new record for the temperature, particularly in areas that already experience above average temperature during the El Nino. Yes, you see, when if a place which is already experiencing a warm temperature, hot temperature, if El Nino is getting stronger and more, then that place which get more warm, that's why we have a very more danger on this El Nino, that is in the ocean current. Then the El Nino adds some extra heat to the atmosphere. Obviously, when there is a ocean current, warm ocean current happens over there, atmosphere also will heaten up. It's possible that Earth rising the temperature with exceeds 1.5 degree Celsius threshold of the Paris Agreement. Yes, we have that Paris Agreement that not to for emitting the carbon dioxide, because when we are emitting more number of carbon dioxide, what it will happen? The planet temperature which gradually rises up. You see, we studied already in the current affairs, when that the planet temperature will be of 1.5 degrees Celsius, when it touch the peak of 1.5 degrees Celsius, the 70 percentage of coral reefs that are destroyed. When it reach 2 degrees Celsius, 100 percentage of coral reefs that are to be destroyed. So this and all should be curbed by this Paris agreement, but obviously we have the climatic changes. Look at next one. The La Nina, a climate pattern associated with the cooling of surface ocean water along the tropical west coast of Southern America, ended in 3-year run in 2023. That's the problem. You see, El Nino means that is the warm ocean current. La Nina means that is the cold ocean current. When cold ocean current comes, you see, this might have completely got a change. We have a rainfall in Australia, Indonesia and all these kind of places, and we have a drought over there here. These places is completely, right now we have that drought. You see, the Horn of Africa means that Eritrea, Somalia, Djibouti, all these kind of countries which are over there. So that is obviously a desertic type of climate is there. So that we have no problem when La Nina comes. But when El Nino comes, this might have create lot of problems. That is the La Nina and El Nino. Now look at here. The Meghalaya, how the abode of clouds ran out of water. We know that Meghalaya, which is very famous for that rainfall, and there is a plateau which is called as Shillong Plateau. In that plateau we have 3 mountains, Garo, Khasi and Jaintia, and the wettest place in the world, that is called as Mausinram, Cherrapunji. These are to be the part of this kind of the state that is called as Meghalaya. But in that Meghalaya we have that problem that is called as water problem. How it happened? You see, that Meghalaya is almost entirely dependent on the monsoon. What for? Water supply, power and agriculture, whatsoever, the Meghalaya which depends on that monsoon. But there is a significant decline in rainfall resulting in depleting of water resources. This is the problem, because when there is the delay of monsoon, we will have a drought. When there is an advance of monsoon, we will have a flood. When that monsoon which reaches India in a particular time, these kind of problems will be sorted out. So the Meghalaya, which completely depend on the monsoon, when there is a significant decline in the rainfall, automatically these kind of resources will be lost. So Meghalaya has had a 15% decrease in rainfall over the past 5 years. Yes, obviously, though in the past 5 years they will have a 50% degradation. You see the next, a study suggests that current crisis is the culminating of multiple factors including climate change, deforestation, unsustainable water management practices. Exactly, ma. I told that 1.5 degrees Celsius, when the planet got to be tempted, the temperature is got to be raised. What happened? The coral reefs, 80% of 70 to 80% of the coral reefs that are to be completely got to be destroyed. I told you, no. So making when all these kind of things, this climate change, which also lot of problems, and Meghalaya, if you go there, we have lot of deforestation and water management practices, which is also very low. Recently, the municipal of that Meghalaya, they have announced that these kind of problems which are over there, and these issues have synergetically led to a decline in water availability, particularly in the urban areas, even though they will have the problem in rural area because it got to be affected the agriculture, but the power supply and water supply, which are completely, they got to be problem over there in that urban areas. You see this, there is a place which is called as Hora. Once the world's wettest place has been suffering. I told you, no, that this place, this got created a world record for the highest rainfall in 1861. It receives 22,987 millimeter of rainfall in a year. So this is the wettest place over there that recorded in the year of 1861. But now that place which is also getting suffered because of that monsoon insufficient. More than 150 years later, it has reduced by more than half of 11,359.4 millimeter a year as per the IMD department. So this is the problem that we have in that monsoon. But this factor is because of that El Nino also. Because I told that it is because of climatic changes. No. So El Nino is a factor. That the global temperature which is started being increasing, that is also one of the factors. We have lot of factors for this kind of deficit rainfall. And a report says a water loss of 20.5% takes place pre-consumption in the process of water getting treated and then transmitted to the main reservoir. Look at here. They have processing some water treatment for the drinking water, for the potable water. For that, they are also wasting 20.5%. Pre-consumption, they are wasting 20.5%. So this is the main problem. Water treatment problem is a main problem over there in that Meghalaya. And following that, the measure of unaccounted for water or water that has been produced and is wasted even before it reaches the consumer is steep, where losses are more than 50%. Yes. Though we will have a pipeline, if the pipeline we will get a leakage, what will happen? Automatically the water get into loss. So these and all the water management problem, that treating they have the problem, and for distributing in the pipelines they have the problem. These kind of problems which is over there in that Meghalaya. This means that in most situations, leakages and siphoning go larger untraced. I told you, no. So leakages is the greatest problem, with power cuts in the state ranging from 8 to 10 hours daily. You see, look at 8 to 10 hours, they will have the problem over there in that Meghalaya. But Meghalaya is called as the we have lot of wettest place over there. And when the state became the country's first to have a water policy in 2009. Yes, this is the first country that they have the water policy when it comes means in 2019. It mandated all buildings to have a rooftop rainwater harvesting and groundwater recharge mechanisms, which would be enforced by the concerned authority. Obviously, from 2019 itself, they will have, if you are constructing a home, or if you have a home, you should have a rainwater harvesting. So that and all is the policy, which is a good policy, which is over there in that Meghalaya. But what is happening me? Few noted contractors of the city stated that many of their construction, mostly residential, have received clearance certificate without checks for rainwater harvesting. This is also the major problem in that municipals that they will have in that Meghalaya. Bribes are getting more in that Meghalaya, so the people who are constructing their buildings and all, suddenly they will get all these kind of clearance by bribing that officials. So this is also the problem. So awareness has to be the another major problem. They don't have lot of that much of awareness in that Meghalaya. And National Education Board, just now they have removed the environmental education as a separate subject at secondary schools. So already they will have that environmental subject in the secondary schools, but right now they have removed. So that's and all they will have the problem in that Meghalaya. Then next, if you see this comparatively drier June causing problem for the farmer. You see, when June starts, what will happen in India? We will have a monsoon that is called the southeast monsoon. So there we have the problem for that. You see, look at here. The absence of pre-monsoon rains has delayed plugging and sowing in the Kharif season in different areas. Definitely, you see this. Monsoon starts in June, but before June we will have a pre-monsoon showers. That is the absence right now in this period. But when pre-monsoon showers happen, there is a plugging, showing which happens for the they might have the farmers might have go for that plugging and showing and all. Because of that, Kharif means that is the rainy crops which is growing over there in that particular season. There is a 4 major Kharif crop. These are the rainy crops: rice, pulses, oil seeds and coarse cereals. And first 3 have shown a decline. Which one? Rice, pulses, oil seed will show a decline in sowing progress compared to the last year, right? So this is the problem that we have it. Then area cover of paddy was 28.22% less compared to the corresponding period in 2022 against 0.491 million hectares in 2022. There is a less percentage of area cover on this paddy. So the sowing of paddy areas which is declining right now. This is in the news. Only 0.3552 million has been sown as the June. This and all is not really important, but the paddy cultivation now which got be reducing. When paddy cultivation is got be reducing, we will in the upcoming years we will have a shortage in rices also. Similarly, there is a sowing of pulses on almost 38% less area when compared to 2022. Obviously, we have pulses sowing area which also be reducing, paddy area which is also to be reducing. So this year some 0.109 million has been recorded. All major pulses like arhar, urd, moong have shown a decline. So whatever the pulses which over there it got to be declining, so it may lead for the inflation for all these kind of commodities. And coming to the oil seeds, crop like groundnut, sunflower, soybean and sesamum have all recorded a dip in area compared to 2022. That also, the overall decline in area coverage by oil seeds crop was 32.78%. So this is the major problem that we have in that decline in that oil seeds also. But meanwhile, the area under the core cereal increased by 80.83. See, by the kharif crops of 4 months, rice, that is the paddy, core cereals, and also by the pulses, these and all declining. But look at here, the sowing. So this core cereals that is increased, got to be increased by 80.83%. By the 4 crops, what is decreasing and what it will be increasing, we should know this. So this was mostly owing to bajra, which saw the highest increase in compared to 2022 sowing among the cereals. So in this cereals, bajra is the highest right now cultivating. So June and July are the 2 most important kharif month, particularly for the 61% of farmers who practice rain-fed agriculture, especially in India. If you see that lot of land, majority of the land which depends on the rainfall, they are only called as rain-fed agriculture. 61% of agriculture farmers that they are depending over there. But comparatively drier June is increasingly causing trouble for the farmers. Definitely, a dry June means the ground moisture level and are not conducive for sowing, and the delay can cripple for the production. Obviously, if we have a moisture content in that soil, we can plug it, we can sow all the crops. But what happened right now? There is a short of pre-monsoon, and also there is an absence of pre-monsoon. If these kind of things happen, it's automatically dry, there is no moisture. So we have the problem over there on the farmer. So the onset of southwest monsoon, which typically lasts from June to September, 4 months, and has been delayed this year, June 8. So 8 days we have a delayed in that southwest monsoon. So the monsoon typically hits the Kerala coast by June 1 and covers the entire country from July 15. So 45 days it will take to cover the entire country. Moreover, the cyclone Biporjo, we saw a lot of news over there. When there is a strong cyclone, there is a weak monsoon, right? When there is a strong monsoon, that time we will have a weak cyclone. So this cyclone is more stronger in that Arabian Sea. So all the air mass which goes over there in that cyclone, but we have a problem, delayed of monsoon, and there is a shortage of rainfall over there here. And the absence of pre-monsoon rains, delayed plugging and sowing in this kharif season in different areas. So several farmers told that that they have started skipping the month of June and shifting to the July and the August. If they are shifting it, what will happen? The yield might have got to be decreased. In 2015, when El Nino event was at its peak, India received only 86% of its normal monsoon rainfall when 2015, and the year was officially a drought year for the country. Definitely, you might have think that 86% means it's somewhat of how much of shortage means. Some 14% of rainfall is, when 14% of rainfall is shortage will be there, we will have a drought year. Look at the news. And last major El Nino event lasted for September 2014 to May 2016. There were major heat waves in India. Obviously, in Tamil Nadu also we have lot of heat waves, and many other countries around Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh and all, we have lot of problem, and huge impact on the monsoon rainfall in India was observed during the period. Yes, obviously. But when El Nino warmer than the normal phase of El So, I told you about what is called as El Nino Southern Oscillation phenomena is associated with less intense rainfall than normal during the monsoon. Yes, when El Nino happens, what will happen? There is a delay of monsoon which is over there in India. Delayed onset and drought condition have also been observed during the El Nino years, right? Yes. Okay, ma. So the next we have that the cyclone could have been a rarity in the Arabian Sea historically, but not storms. Say historians, what the news says mean. In Arabian Sea, we have historically, we have no that much of cyclones. Strong cyclone will be over there in Bay of Bengal, but right now it is transforming that Arabian Sea also, which is getting witnessed for a lot of cyclones. You see, in the Arabian Sea currently we have Biporjo, and also we have a lot of cyclones in Arabian Sea, Vayu, Nisarga, Taukta, and these are the past few years we are getting more number of cyclones over there in that Arabian Sea, and which Arabian Sea, which was not particularly known for the cyclone in the past, is now it got to be transforming. I told you no. You see this, the Arabian Sea is witnessing cyclone Biporjoy, the fourth strongest cyclone. You see, Vayu is in 2019, it is also strongest. Nisarga is in 2020, it is also strongest. Taukte, it is in 2021, it is also strongest. And fourth is the Biporjo, that is the which is in the west coast of that India, that is in the Arabian Sea, fourth strongest cyclone. And severe storms have historically been, there is a storm will be there, that not be converted into the cyclone, we will have the storm in that Arabian Sea compared to that Bay of Bengal. Historians, we have it, and Arab navigators, and they have Ibn Majid, they have noted in classical Arabs that there is a storm which is there in that storm which is there in that Arabian Sea, and ship wicks due to storm are a huge part of naval literature from the Buddhist Jataka. In Buddhist Jatakas also we will have a lot of storms, and a lot of Buddhist Jataka when discussing trade mention ship is breaking frequently because of the storm. They have put it in that Buddhist Jataka, and lot of evidence that we have in that, but they have referred that these kind of cyclones which are over there in that Bay of Bengal, not in the Arabian Sea. So these are the historical events, and which you could see this. See, once calm Arabian Sea is now becoming the site of more frequent cyclones, courtesy global warming. Because of the global warming, that Arabian Sea, which is also transforming for the strong cyclones. And the year before, 2021 study had noted a 52% increase in the frequency of cyclonic storms in the west coast of India. That's in the Arabian Sea. We have 52%. And another studies in October last year, this is from the Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research in Bhopal, showed that the Arabian Sea had registered an increase in the frequency of cyclones in the last 2 decades. In the 20 years, we have that much of frequency, cyclonic frequency, which got to be increasing. They attributed this trend to globe because this is because of the global warming that we have in that transforming of that Arabian Sea. So Bay of Bengal also we are getting more number of cyclones. Right now we don't have that much of cyclone, strong cyclone in Arabian Sea. Storms will be there, ship breaking, that's from the historians. But even though what it is they are telling means that Arabian Sea, which is also getting more, that's transforming for more number of strong cyclones. So these are things that we saw today. We will see on the next class. Thank you, ma.